Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I told you I was going to upload on every Monday and here I am right on schedule here to talk about some books. Yes, so life is very good. Life is wonderful. It's wonderful to be alive. Don't you think so too? Actually, I am in love with life at the moment. So last week I had my birthday. I turned 20, so I'm not a teenager anymore. That is quite crazy. That I'm actually grown up and everything. It's just so totally weird. But that means because of my birthday that I've gotten some more books to talk about. Last week I talked about my TBR, and today I'm going to talk about the books that I received as gifts on my birthday. I will do a little updated one where I've bought books for the money that I got or whatever. So it's very special turning 20 in Sweden. That means that you are a grown-up and that you can buy alcohol, and obviously I bought alcohol. I'm not gonna show any alcohol in this video. Alcohol, alcohol, alcohol. That's like everything I'm saying. So the first book that I got as a birthday gift is Bob Dylan's All Lyrics for His Songs. This book I got from my grandfather. And I am totally awed by this. It's gonna be awesome reading this amazing book. It's all of his lyrics. I'm gonna show you. It's so cool to just have. I don't really listen to Bob Dylan a lot, but I think now that I got his lyrics that I could be reading it and just focusing on the texts and the meanings of everything. So this is a Swedish publish of all of these song lyrics because he won the Nobel Prize last year, and then they gave out this book on Norstedts, which is a Swedish publishing company. So for this I am very excited. I'm totally just gonna plunge into this and just analyze the shit out of his poems, kind of, because when you read them they're kind of like poems. So all the other books that I got is from the very closest of my family, like my sister and my mother and my father. And this book I got from my parents, and it's the only classics. So this book I got from my mother and my father, and it's a classic, and it's the only classic which is a Penguin English book classic, like the books that I showed in my last video, and it's Moby Dick. This is, I think, one of the most cute kind of covers of Penguin books classics. And it's really thick too. Like it's 679 pages. It's almost as thick as the Bob Dylan book. I actually wished for this book because I want to read Moby Dick. I've never read Moby Dick. I don't really know what it's about. I know that it's about a whale, but not a lot more. So I'm really excited to read this. And currently I'm reading Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And then after that I'm going to take a little break from all the classics and read something else like YA or something. But I'm really looking forward to taking up this book in the future. So yeah, that's an amazing read for the future. So the next book that I got is from my sister, and this is actually a YA book, so I'm very excited. I'm very excited to read this, as it's one of my sister's favorite books. She's talked about it a lot, and I haven't really heard others speak about it. And it's a Penguin book, and it's Half Bad by Sally Green. So this is just a book that my sister has been talking a lot about. She has her own copy, and then she bought me my own copy. And I don't really know what it's about. Apparently, when I read from the back of the book, it's about a Nathan Byrne, who's a half white witch and half black witch. His mother was a healer and his father was a killer, and he's been kept in a cage since he was 14. But if white witches are good and black witches are evil, what happens if you are both? So this is about a guy who's both a good witch and a bad witch, And what is he? Is he half bad? Probably. So I'm really excited to read this. I think I'm gonna read it after Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And thankfully, it's got a lot more space between the lines than a classic, so I'm looking forward for this. I don't really read a lot of YA, and I think that's something that I should do, because a lot of people on BookTube read YA books, so I think I'm gonna be a little bit left out if I'm not one of the crew, but you know, I don't really enjoy them. I don't know why, it just never struck me to read a YA book in a really long time. So, the next book that I also got on my birthday, by my mother and my father, by my parents I should say, my mother and my father. I got it from my parents. And it's a book that I don't really know a lot about, because I only read about it, I only saw it on Pinterest, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna wish for this book. So I wished for it, and it's All the King's Men by Sal David. I don't know if this is like classed as a classic. Let's see. So it was published in 2012. So it's a quite modern book set in the 1600s, 1660 and 1850. I don't even know. I'm just reading on the back and side of the book. It's about musketeers and everything, and it's real cool. It's about just, I don't really know, royalism and stuff, you know. But this is at least a literary piece, like, what to say, it's not a factual book, you know, but it's a historic book, so that is very interesting. But it's yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this, and it's also very thick and very long, and it's got a lot of pictures and stuff in black and white. So yeah, that's gonna be cool. I don't know. This is history of brutal discipline and indelible food, of loyalty and low pay, of barracks and battlefield, of victory, defeat, life and death. So yeah, looking forward to this. Okay, so now we're on to the last book of all of these that I got. It's actually quite funny that I got 5 books from my family. And I also got money, so I can buy even more books. That's even more amazing, you know. But this last book is quite different from the others, because the thing is, I love musicals. I don't even know if you guys know that I love musicals. I made a video about Hamilton once. But I'm in love with musicals. I read Les Miserables. I don't even know. I read Les Miserables, and I know that a lot of musicals are based on books and movies and stuff. Like Heathers is based on a movie from the 80s, and Mean Girls are coming up soon as a musical. That's amazing. And Shrek is a musical. And Les Miserables is obviously a musical, and it's just a lot of great musicals, and Hamilton and Legally Blonde and stuff like that. Hamilton is also quite, like, Lin-Manuel Miranda read a book, and then he wrote about Alexander Hamilton in a musical. But this musical, not a lot of people know that it's a book, or that it has another origin than the musical. So when I saw on Pinterest that this was actually a book, I got quite excited. So this is a fairy tale retelling of The Wizard of Oz, and I think everyone knows what this book is, or which musical it is. And it's wicked. And God, do I love this musical. This is one of my favorite musicals of all time. I listen to the soundtrack at all times. I love it. And the thing about this book is that the pages, like the corners of the pages, are all green. So that is amazing. It's the same green as it is on the front page and on the back page. So that's really cool. Like, oh wow, that was the first thing I saw when I got it. So I actually wished for this book by my parents. They also had no idea that it was a book. And apparently, this is the origin of Wicked, the musical, obviously. And it was written in the 1990s. It was written in the 90s. And oh god, it's so freaking cool. And it tells the story, if you don't know the musical, it tells the story of the Wicked Witch of the West. Yeah, it's written by Gregory Maguire too. So, and he has a lot of fairy tale retellings. like all of them are shown inside of the paperback. So that is so fucking great. I'm so happy about this. So if you don't know the story about Wicked, it's about the Wicked Witch of the West, Elphaba, who's not as mean as people thought she was. And why did she become mean, wicked? Like, why is she wicked? And how did Glinda and Elphaba become the good witch and the wicked witch? And then it tells a lot about just a story between them, and it's a great friendship story. I don't know if this is class as YA or if it's class as adult, whatever. I'm just very interested in reading this, so I'm gonna read from the backhand side of the book, and it stands: When Dorothy triumphed over the Wicked Witch of the West in L. Frank Baum's classic tale. Wow, that was a tongue twister. We heard only her side of the story. But what about the arch nemesis, the mysterious witch? Where did she come from? How did she become so wicked? Gregory, what is his name? Gregory Maguire, his specialty is to just write books, rewrites stories and fairy tales from the villain's perspective. Like, it's also done what is it called? A Cinderella retelling called Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister, and also a retelling of Snow White called Mirror Mirror and Son of a Witch, which I think is a sequel or a follow-up on this book, or a companion or something. So that's really cool. He obviously done a lot of retellings, which I think is awesome. And this is like a paperback inspired by the musical. So that's really cool. I really like this. So yeah, that was the last book, and then I got a lot of money too. I'm not gonna say how much money I got. It was a couple of money. So I'm maybe gonna do a little haul of the books that I bought for my birthday money. Da-da. But I'm really excited about all these books, and especially for Wicked, you know, it's great. And Bob Dylan, I'm gonna take it up to my class this week and read a little poem from it and be like, oh yeah, this has struck my heart. I got this as a 20s gift, you know, like I'm in my 20s now. Yeah, everyone, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please press that subscribe. I want as many subscribers and as many views as I want, so share and like and share and like.